technology married skills. When I met him 22 years back, I thought I would get married to him, have a happy life, and that would what my future would look like. Fantastic. It would be a dream marriage, happy marriage. But what after next 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years was a thought which started coming immediately when we decided to get married. The future was quite unknown to all of us. To my parents, to his parents, to me, and to him. Still we thought, let's get married. Now there was one more reason why I wanted to get married to him. Would sound quite hilarious, but yes, he, back in 2001, had that Motorola cell phone, which people did not have. So for me, that was a crazy event, getting married to him for the person who had the Motorola phone. Which would now feel like, Motorola phone? Are you serious? Well, in another few years, our future somewhat seemed like this. There was a slight change if you see it with a close eye. He's the same. I grew up. Well, that's how sometimes people prosper. While I was thinking back in those years, I married him on the context because he was a tech-savvy person, which I was not. I would thought our future would be bright because at least he would give them, my future, a better life, a tech-savvy life, which was quite promising. We are beckoning the future. In our thoughts, in our words, in our actions, and in our efforts. Every day, every hour, every moment, every single second, our vigilant heart drum beats anxiously, thinking of what might be or who we might become. Quite a thought, I must say. Everybody is worried about future, aren't we? And I'm sure the answer is yes. But as the carpet of time sweeps and rolls over our feet, we must think and thank and be grateful to be standing on that carpet and thinking about what the future is going to show us. And for that purpose, it is important to understand, are we changing with the time? Because the only thing that is constant is change. For a moment, just close your eyes and smile. And thank God for the resources and the opportunities that you've been bestowed with. Does it seem like a white, rosy picture? If you really feel so, you will feel that the worries have gone. Because you are standing on that undulated side of the world while others have fallen into that trough. And congratulations to you for still being there, standing there. It's important, it's vital to think of the future, but it's important, as we heard right away, to be progressive. And how do we maintain that? By walking with the times, into the times. Besides the lack of basic education, that we see 20% of the Indian population, approximately 28 crores of the youth, according to the Skill Gap report by Udemy, an online platform, nearly 76% of the students feel the gap in their skills because of the educational scenario, which gives them practical knowledge, not exactly the theoretical knowledge. We are imparting the theoretical knowledge. Somewhere the gap lies in making it practical. Are we actually doing something towards it? The lack of access to education, the lack of access to skill development has really raised an alarm. In fact, the government of India is also working on it. The skill development report also suggests that until and unless our technology doesn't marry soft skills, we will not have a progeny which is actually required. We will not move hand in hand with the world until we actually know how important these skills are, how important it is to cope up with skills like being empathetic towards each other, being communicative, working in a team, knowing your intrapersonal links, talking about your interpersonal connections, analytical skills, and a lot more. There are so many that I can go on with. Imagine when these soft skills marry technology. When I started with my personality school in Uttarakhand, the first personality school, I wanted to fill in this gap, whether it was from a tiny toddler to a fully grown-up young adult, from a corporate to an entrepreneur, from being a homemaker to an old citizen who would understand what it means to be a holistically complete human being. What is the progress that we are making? That future has a good combination, good collaboration of skills with technology. We've all faced COVID. We've all been online for almost 2 years plus. Here is where we wanted to be connected to each other, but with the help of technology. We did all the mediums. Maybe it was a Zoom classes, Microsoft Teams, Google Meet. But the only thing we wanted to be there was to be connected to each other. Though there were times of lockdowns, but still, we were there connected with each other through technology. Quite a fact. How can we separate these two? We cannot in this era think of taking a divorce from both of them. Not at all. We would not be happy. We would not be satisfied. There were two brothers, Raman and Naman. Raman was particularly very good with his skills, and on the other hand, Naman was a tech savvy. Raman thought he could control the business because he had all the selling skills, the negotiation skills, and his brother would not make much because what he had in his hands was some of the computer languages or something to know about artificial intelligence. Vice versa, the brother was thinking the other way. He thought, because I knew how technology worked, I'm going to own my dad's business. The two of them very soon parted their ways. 3 years later, one only with the skills and the other only with technology reunite. There was a kind of feeling that they would not do without each other. The reason being, there's a strong relationship that we have developed to make our future more bright and more conditioned. But the journey is not easy. Trust me, the kind of gap that we see against the main objective of what Skill India program proposes, to provide adequate training to the most relevant skills to over 40 crore youth by 2022, only 1 crore 36 lakh young persons have been trained by its 7th anniversary on the 15th of July 2022, which means a little more effort, a little more doing on this part. At my institution, when I talk of skills, an uncanny obsession of youth, particularly communication in spoken English, has to have that mindset, to change that mindset of the lopsided personality. Why? Because people think either it's technology or it's skills. Here I have a question for you all. What if you had all the skills? You are empathetic towards each other. You know how to negotiate. You have good communication skills. Do you think you can learn technology? I'm sure the answer must be yes, we can. Similarly, if you have technology in hand, it's easy to master the skills, but it is important that you do that. Why is public speaking considered as the greatest fear in the world? Standing here, people say it's not easy. The fear is too high. Maybe because of the judgment of the statement which says, "Sabse bada rog kya kahenge log?" We are afraid of being judged. The other day, my friend comes to give me a card. His daughter is getting married. He says, "You know what? My children went in for a compatibility test." I said, "Wow, that sounds nice. So how do you do that?" Says the counselor, the marriage counselor, she did a compatibility test for them through some softwares, and now they're getting married. Woohoo! Sounds interesting. So you have an easy future. You do not have to think back like we thought in 22 years. Would it be a compatible or non-compatible wedding? Things have really become easy, and they have changed the course of lives. How do we take it is absolutely a subjective perspective. Are we ready for it? Are we ready? That seems so complex to us to solve it. Here, the skills are going to help you. Learn the art, the skill of problem solving. What do we tell our youth? How do we increase the number of this marriage happening between the technology and the skills? How do we make sure and promise our youth that we are working hard to make this endeavor a successful one? Is it complex? No, it isn't. It's all in the state of mind. It's all on the learning that you want to do. It's all on the willingness that you carry. We talk of technology, we talk of skills, but there are still a number of people, number of youngsters, number of students who do not even get necessary education. And the number is not remained confined to some aspects. We talk of technology which does not remain confined to the online courses, but yes, it must effectively be switching to VR immersive, AI adaptive soft skills training, which we are doing using a lot of skills like LMS, where we get that records done, easy assignments, Google Forms. For our aptitude and attitude, we again have the formats in which technology is helping us. Still, we cannot talk of the bright future until we do not talk about those 35 million students from 6 to 14 years who still do not get to attend the school. It's high time that we rise. Not only the government of the country, not only some educational institutions, not only some social reformers, but we as individuals have to take this step forward to make sure that we are ready to carry this process to make a brighter future. And how do we make our future bright? It's only possible if we become more collaborative, more creative, and more constructive. All these 3 C's, if you see, are the part of the skills that one can learn. Soft skills is nothing which has to do with theory. It's all about how you practice it, how you imbibe it, how mindful you are when you're learning these skills. Are we applying them in our lives? If not, I'm sorry to say, the future is not that high. You may not need a driver to drive your car in the next few years. But unfortunately, if you meet an accident, the robo will not be empathetic towards you. It may not guide you to the hospital. So let's get this reunion of skills and technology happen, and let the future shine bright of the country. Thank you.